I think somebody had asked, and it was a wonderful question.
Which is why. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. Is there anything that isn't a concept? And the answer is no. The answer that is most relevant to you, the answer is no. I mean, the truth is not a concept, but that really isn't available to you yet. So everything that you have in your head absolutely is a concept.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. How can we cure curiosity? Like get rid of curiosity?
You don't want to cure it. Why are you asking to cure something that you yourself don't want to get rid of?
Thank you.
Hey there.
Hello.
What's the last thing that made you laugh?
You see, I knew this was going to be a nonsense question because you don't follow me. And you don't have to follow me. Don't take it the wrong way. And it's guaranteed to be taken the wrong way. But see, those who don't follow me means that they haven't been exposed to my work. Not that they should, because my work isn't any good. You don't need to follow it. But those who come to this, and I don't see a follow sign there, I know it's going to be some empty question. It almost always is.
What are some ways to transcend the mind?
There's no way that I could answer that in this forum.
Do you think it could be viewed as a sign of arrogance that you yourself don't have any followers? I think I noticed that. I could be wrong.
No, I think it's a sign of stupidity that I chose to answer your question because you don't follow me.
How close is awareness to the truth?
6.35 inches.
Yeah, hi. If curiosity creates doubt, how do you best handle it?
Wait a minute. It's a self-pass. So you come in with a phrase, you come in with a preset notion that you yourself have, then you ask a question about a preset notion that you came in with. So why are you bringing me into this?
I guess it's preset to me. You're right.
Right. So a question would be, and not that you should have a question, but a question would be, what is this, or whatever it may be. The question isn't, all right, if the moon is this and the stars are this, and given that the lights are obviously this and the night sky is clearly that, then what do I do?
Hi, thanks for having me up.
Mm-hmm.
So I discovered you through Naval's podcast. I've been digging into all your podcasts that you've ever essentially been on, all your readings, all your books for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and they've really, really resonated with me, especially the stuff about athletes and athletes that become great and how they really differentiated themselves from the pack. And I sort of keep coming back to this concept or this idea of a search for the truth really being an inward facing
but I
journey.
would say, but I have to say this because it had a pinch to that wasn't really true. I don't really talk about athletes who have become great and separated themselves. I don't think that I ever put any athlete on the pedestal. In fact, I think, and I'm sure I mentioned Tiger, and Tiger was a rare breed, and but in general, I don't do that, and I guess more of the essence of where I tend to go is in the direction of, well, no one's really great. And even the guys you see on TV are really not that great. And becoming a legend and otherworldly are things that are beyond even people you see on TV. So that's kind of more of where I go.
Gotcha. Okay. What really stood out to me was just like Tiger, for example, you'd say would show up and practice before anyone was even there. No one would even see him do it. He didn't really socialize with a lot of the other players. And so much of this stuff that you write about has resonated with me because I've always been very solitary. I've always aspired to master a craft that I've been working at. And I actually saw this as a problem a couple of years ago because I was so much on an island by myself. I was the executive director of a team. They all saw me as the boss. I couldn't socialize with them. I didn't really think in the same ways that the masses thought. I didn't want to go out and have beers after work. And on one hand, a lot of your work and writing has gotten me okay with the fact that the path that I'm on is perhaps a solitary one on purpose. The thing I can't really reconcile is that if the search for the truth is really about what is natural, and the truth is natural. And we know that relationships are based on attachment and desire and these non-truthful things. But it requires biological life. It requires me to, in a way, have desire for another person.
But biology, but the reason that you came together with someone isn't because of biology. So biology is none of your business.
Okay.
Right? You didn't create biology, so that isn't
Sure.
on your palette. That isn't on your to-do list. The biology of creation, right? That isn't one of your responsibilities, right? So you're kind of taking. I mean, and actually, intellectuals do this. They say things like, "Well, when we were, hunter-gatherers," and it's irrelevant. It's just trying to justify the status quo. Biology is nature's business. You stay in your own lane.
Well, so is it okay then for a father to have preferential
really
treatment for his mate or wife or child, or is that attachment?
What do you mean by okay? There
Right.
are no rules, right? So
Sure.
I think perhaps the most instructive thing about these questions that people ask is to turn the person and have him face not me, but to have him face his own question, and to learn from him and to learn from his own question, not the answer to the question, but why he's asking the question and what he's really asking. And so what you are presenting is yet another example of, and this is a pattern that for the serious person may want to realize it. What you are basically providing another example of is basically, look, you go into and it's dangerous for you to read all these writings in a binge, because you're going to prescriptionize the hell out of them. And then you're going to turn them into rules. Then you're going to put them on a poster. Then you're going to make them an ideal. And then you're going to say, well, is this pure? Am I being pure? Am I being sincere? I'm only 24.6% on the sincerity meter. I need to increase that. I need to get my game together. And is it okay for me to be with somebody else because, I'm breaking the attachment rule? And it isn't your fault. I think the take-home message is that the human being does not realize how much he has been abused. The human being does not realize how much he has been imprisoned criminally by society. He doesn't realize, he doesn't even have the foggiest concept of how irreversibly damaged he has become by society. And one of the most fundamental ways in which he has become damaged is evidenced by your question: to prescriptionize everything. And there's no point in saying don't prescriptionize it, because that's all you know.
Yeah.
It would be unfair to say don't. If I say don't prescription, what are you going to do? You don't have, that's all you know. So the only thing you can do is understand that.
Right.
Is to understand your own affliction. And if you truly understand your own affliction, then you have the possibility to no longer be afflicted anymore as the years go on by this cesspool called society.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Dr. Gupta.
Hello?
Dr. Gupta, I'm reading your book, Direct Truth, for the third time and more slowly, and I see new insights every time. My question is on devotion. You talk about, in the section in the book, you talk about devotion so completely that you yourself disappear. My question is, does such total devotion, does it create attachment? And does that lead to another cycle of disappointments and desire?
Well, like you just said, if there's true devotion,
Mm-hmm.
there's no one left there to be attached.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Gupta.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Dr. Gupta. Thanks for pulling me up here.
Sure.
My question is with the affliction of society. So even in sharing that, using the same words, the same concepts that have been evolved and created as part of that tool set, how would we engage that, outside of that devotion you just spoke of, that pure essence of experience, I guess? How would we unravel ourselves in that net?
What do you mean? How would you...
Well, I think it just kind of goes back to what you said. Using the words, using the concepts itself is symbolic of that society. It's all the things that have been handed to us in language and concept. How do you start to pull apart from that?
Well, there's no how do you pull apart from it. You realize it.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
So I've been thinking about what we talked about last time, and I don't fully understand what it means to be diseased by society, specific in relation to the experience of the mind fighting the mind. I've been noticing how often I'm in an internal lose-lose state of, I think, what you refer to as the mind fighting the mind. I don't pursue my true desires because I'm afraid of the inevitable rejection. And then I resent that rejection because I don't fulfill my desires. And when I look at myself and I ask for the truth there, I have to be honest that my actual greatest desire is to avoid rejection because that's what I'm currently doing. I wish that I could accept that and be content with that truth. But I feel like it doesn't work because the other desire is still there, and
it can't work. It can't work for you. It's never going to work.
I know you mentioned that last time, but I don't get it.
Oh, did I? Okay, well then I'm consistent, and I don't mean to be consistent. But the reason that it can't work is because you value people.
This is what you meant by I was diseased, I was diseased by societal, or
I don't know what I meant by what. I'm saying that you value the masses. Like when someone says "good job," you value that.
Mm-hmm.
When someone gives you praise, and when someone likes your work, and when someone pats you on the back, you value that. You think there's something there. Therefore, it's impossible for you to get away. It's impossible for you to not be attracted to that because you value it. And don't ask me how do you stop valuing it. You just do. You just do. And so as long as you do, as long as you value people, as long as you value what they say, as long as you value what they think, as long as you value society, as long as you look out your window and you see people, you see buildings, you see cities, you see businesses, and you see entrepreneurs and CEOs and workers and all these people, you value those people.
Yeah.
So you don't have a prayer. And it's not a bad thing. It just is what it is.
Right.
Hi. Thanks for letting me ask my question. The one question I had is if you think of like the matrix theme of the blue pill and the red pill, would you argue, or would you like even advocate for like living both of them simultaneously? Because I feel like there are some benefits of viewing or like living in society, like if you think of it as a blue pill, and then you can think about the red pill as like truth.
So I don't know. Someone told me to watch the movie, so I watched it years ago. I don't remember, but so I think the take-home message from your question is that it isn't a question at all. You basically, and it's not wrong or right. It's just I'm bringing this to your attention. You basically came up here to say that you think that that society has value and that that it's wrong to say that it doesn't have value, and that's fine.
Thank you for having me up again, Dr. Gupta. Just a quick one. You say the greatest freedom that we have is the freedom to walk away from ourselves. Just wanted to know in terms
You see,
of
no, wait, stop. Mm-hmm. Do you see how you're pausing? Right?
Yep.
So you had the quote in mind.
Right.
And this is how the mind works. So I could see your mind working. So you had the quote in mind, so you knew exactly what you were going to say there because the quote was fresh. And then you faded off, okay? And that fade off was basically going towards, so then how do we do that? And you wanted me to basically talk at length about how do you walk away from yourself. It's not going to happen. It's interesting that the same individuals are the ones who keep asking questions. And, the interesting part about that is that's very instructive. Because if it's the same individuals who keep asking the questions, it demonstrates yet another behavioral element of human beings is no number of answers is enough because the human isn't really looking for the answer. He's just looking to ask questions.
So I go through your work, your tweets definitely tell me what is not real, or at least dismantles my perception about what I think, the understanding is my mind. And your books definitely tell me something about the truth, but I may not be at self-realized level to really completely understand through my DNA. But if I consistently get exposed to what is not real, and if I remove all these concepts that can be good or bad, I mean, let's not consider it's good or bad. If I consistently on this path of understanding, removing all these concepts, is that a path to the truth?
It is a path for the truth based upon one condition. If the individual has the DNA to have the deepest longing for it, then yes. But
so it should be my oxygen.
It shouldn't be anything. If you truly get somewhere with it, then that and that alone will tell you if you had the DNA for it.
Hi, thanks for having me up. Is the act of seeking answers in and of itself a distraction from truth?
Yes, absolutely it is. But I think it's the realization that human beings have been conditioned to seek answers because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Gupta.
Yes.
I find the truth very paradoxical. So no prescription is a prescription. It's almost like a
Wait,
catch-22.
Stop. It's how you view it. So if you view, I have never said that you shouldn't follow prescriptions. I've never said that. If you distill, reduce, and summarize my words according to your choosing, which in this case would be no prescriptions, then you have absolutely created a prescription. But that wasn't my doing. I don't recommend that anyone abandon prescriptions. I don't recommend that anyone pursue prescriptions. But I have delineated the peril of prescriptions. But everything's fraught with peril. People smoke every single day. That's fraught with peril. So peril isn't enough to stop someone, and I have no intent of stopping anyone. But if someone wishes to look into prescriptions and discover why it is that I may be saying that they're perilous, or why it is that they could be perilous for you, then that isn't a prescription. But it isn't good because it isn't a prescription. It's effective because that can go somewhere. So you have prescriptionized no prescriptions.
Yes.
Beware of intelligence. It will get you somewhere in cocktail parties. It will get you nowhere in the domain of the mind.
Hi Kapil, thanks for having me.
Uh-huh.
What is your take on discipline?
Discipline is basically forced discipline. It's not natural. It's not a good or a bad thing. But if it happens, usually discipline happens because you should do it and it sounds nice and it looks nice and it's in keeping with what others do, and therefore it's yet another example of doing things based upon ritual and form. But what must be understood is that every piece of information is dangerous in somebody's hands. Because the person who hears no discipline, then they're going to go play video games all day long. And then that, if that's the case, then they were never ready for the truth. So one has to be ready for the truth, because if he's not, then the truth is only going to damage him even further.
Hi. I had to ask, like, why do we even have to look for the truth? It seems
Wait, stop.
sometimes.
But show me the document in which I said that you should look for the truth. Why did you ask, why should we even look for the truth? I never told you to look for the truth. So it's only for you to ask, why should we look for the truth? That would only be in response to someone who told you to look for it.
Makes sense.
Hi, Kapil. Do all great works of art, be they in literature or visual art, reflect the fact that the artist has found a truth or the truth? Thanks.
No, what is, I mean, it depends what you mean by good art, right?
Yeah.
I mean, art, there's no, the worst person to judge art is an art critic. Like, who knows what good art is?
Yeah.
So the good, the art is art in the pureness of the creation, not
So
in the judgment.
If I rephrase the question then to say that great art, subjectively can be an outcome if the artist is seeking truth in its purest form, if that question now makes sense, or?
Well, I think a more fundamental and effective question would be, why do you want it to be great art?
Yeah, I guess in the search for losing yourself.
Well, that doesn't make it great.
Yeah,
because then you're just applying another judgment to it.
So you shouldn't look at the artistic process of achieving greatness. That's a bad lens to look at it.
I think any lens that you've adopted from society is always just the crap lens.
Yeah.
There's nothing more effective that a human being can do for himself than to cleanse himself of all societal things.
Yeah. So the word.
Hey. I've always found that I've executed at my best when I'm just feeling nothing at all. Is there an aspect of truth to not feeling anything at all?
I don't know what you're asking.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So the less questions there are, the more pure it becomes. But because it becomes more pure doesn't make it good. It just becomes pure.
Someone had asked earlier, should we look for the truth, or why should we look for the truth? And that got me thinking to ask this question, which is, do you believe that humans have some sort of moral responsibility to look for the truth?
You must be new in these parts.
That doesn't answer the question.
I don't have to answer your question. I made a
You don't.
statement that you must be new. No, I don't. You
Right,
must be
I said-
new in these parts.
Yes, and I said that doesn't answer the question. I didn't say you have to answer the question.
You must be new in these parts.
Hello, Kapil.
Hello.
Thank you for getting my question. So I was reading the discourse that you published today on Twitter, and it finished with the.
What was it called?
I think something with a king. So let me find it real quick. On becoming a king.
Okay.
So there was a conversation between the king and his advisor, and it ended with let's begin with the mind. And That
Are you going to ask me to pick up from there?
No, kind of. I realized that I don't know what the mind is, and yeah.
Well, okay. So everything that you have, every single thing that you can possibly think of, on the spot.
Do you want me to tell you whatever comes?
No, I don't need to know it.
Okay.
You know it. Whatever you believe and whatever you have an opinion about, that's all mind.
Hey, Kapil, appreciate the time. In your room a few days ago, we talked about the arrival and realization of truth and understanding alone simply being enough. Is the sort of knee-jerk reaction to turn truth and understanding into a conclusion or to intellectualize it, is this the mind's last-ditch effort at tainting the truth and sort of reclaiming its control on you?
Well, I don't think it has been reduced to a last ditch. I mean, the mind hasn't been touched for it to be last ditch. That's just humans being conditioned by society to prescriptionize and conclude everything and turn it into a summary and write it on the blackboard and put it in bold type and italics in a textbook so that they can teach other people. So that isn't, the mind doesn't even need to get involved for that. You know, your conditioning is plenty. That's why that happens.
Thanks for the clarity.
Sure.
Dr. Gupta, a few Clubhouse sessions ago, I'd asked you a question about relationship with parents. And as I have looked into that a little bit, I've been seeing that a lot of what I say to my parents is coming from a place of not wanting to be controlled by them, and especially when it comes to conversations about, like, you know, things I'm doing in life and future and etc. What I do sincerely desire is having the freedom from those expectations, but I'm looking for an understanding that would help with maintaining.
So you will never see. You will never have what you seek, and even if you get it, it won't give you what you think it'll give you. You're never going to get freedom from expectations. Are you married?
No.
Okay. So when you get married, then your wife is going to expect from you. Then you're going to have kids. Then your kids are going to expect from you. Then they're going to have kids, and then they're going to expect from you. And then your in-laws are going to expect from you. And that the guy in the grocery store is going to expect from you.
Yeah.
So there's this notion that everyone has in their mind that if I can just get over this, then I'll be free. No one's imprisoning you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
On the first time as accident, on the second and third time by choice, I took hero's dose of certain psychedelics, and
I'm not interested in the question.
Hi, thanks. What's one thing
that I or anyone can do first
I
thing in the
already
morning?
tell this is going to be a non-starter. Okay. I can already tell this is not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
You know, you can tell in most cases. I'm not sure if it's every case. It may be every case. You can tell the sincerity of the question, or even the sincerity of the questioner, just by the tone of his voice, the cadence, the pitch.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just wondering, what are your views on love and relationship in general? Thank you.
You know, I've written a lot about that. I don't, there's no summary to it. I think everything that a human being knows as love is really attachment. It doesn't mean that the love doesn't exist somewhere somehow. You know, maybe in the most primal and fundamental bond between a mother and a child, and that too in specific moments. But most of what humans call love is attachment.
Hi, Kapil.
Hello?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked you the question, what is not a concept, a long time ago.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
Yes, and it's been, I'm still stuck with this question. I even told you about it at your last session. And I'm still stuck with this question. It's as if it's an irreplaceable question in my head. The more I entertain like the idea that everything is a concept, the more I feel
then nothing is left.
Nothing else is almost, yes, and so.
And therefore, nothing being left is not acceptable to you, and it makes you uncomfortable, because then what are you supposed to do, and what are you supposed to think, and then where are you supposed to go, and then what do you?
No. So sorry. Please go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I stopped asking questions for the last couple of days in general, like to myself, and when I looked at the mirror, like as if I was looking at just like not me, but at just like any animal, like I don't know, just a sheep or something, like I do look at, any other things. I was kind of scared, actually. It's as if I've looked at myself so much on the mirror, like it became so familiar, like I guess my image with myself. And it became so familiar to the level, in a way, I guess I was convinced that I knew myself. So that's one. I thought like I would be thinking, it would be fascinating, but it was kind of scary and weird more than fascinating experience. Like just like eyes, like nose that smells something like it. I don't know. It's so weird. And I do admit that I'm mechanically trained to ask like visceral questions for which my intellectual brain, as you say, is always excited to match the expected answer and like sort of nod and like feel good about it and etc. So I'm kind of tired of that experience as well in a way, like not interested at all. So again, with the question of concept, like what is not a concept, the only thing that I could find in my head that is not attached to like a concept or some sort of attachment or like anything is death. Like if you ask me what is it, I would say like, my mechanical mouse would literally say like, oh, it's something that comes, like, it's the only truth or something like that. I don't know. I would just like come up with something.
You're gonna have to wrap it up with a question. So
yeah. So the question here is why does it feel not real? Why does it feel like as if it's not going to?
So you don't really have a question. It's like the why does it not feel real doesn't really. That's not your question.
The death.
Huh? I'm sorry.
Okay, so
that's not your question because if you say why does it not feel real, I say well because it doesn't feel real because of this, and then you're going to say oh okay, you're not going to be satisfied. Okay, so you are groping through this miasma, this opaque lens of figuring out what isn't a concept, and that's just where you are right now. So you're not in a place to create a question aside from just a question in the form of a question. So that's just where you are.
Thanks, Dr. Gupta, for allowing me to ask the question. I'm a bit nervous to ask this. So, about 3 weeks back, I heard you in Novel's podcast speaking about many aspects, especially the one that struck me at that time was relating to the non-specific anxieties that we have in life, and you mentioning the solution lying in the problem itself. And since that, I've kind of devoted myself in the last 3 weeks to go deeper through your books and your discourses.
Yeah, what answer did I give to that?
To directly look into that problem, and
okay,
and it has helped me a lot in the last 3 weeks, and especially in high performance.
Well, I don't think it's helped you that much.
Okay,
I don't think it's helped you that much. I think that you're still confused as to what that means, and so you're still kind of figuring that out.
Yeah, that is where my question was. So, what is the next level of detail?
There's no next level because you haven't got through the first level yet. And the first level is the last level.
Understood.
Yep.
So my question kind of relates to the previous question, so hopefully it's not kind of duplicating on that. So it's about the solution lying in the problem. So my biggest mind problem is money. I want to make money. And so I listened to you and you kind of discussed how the solution lies in the money itself or the money problem itself. But I'm kind of stuck at a point where how I'm trying to figure out how to kind of think about money, whether it's like what is money, where does it come from, etc., or it's more like why do I need money? So
well, I don't think that you're intrigued by those questions. I think those are just intellectual curiosity. I think the bottom line is fundamentally you're interested in making money.
Okay, cool.
I don't think that you want to get to the path. I don't think that you want to get to the point where, because even if you go there, you're still going to come back to yourself with, yeah, but the fact is I want to make money.
Correct. Yeah. I'm back at square one again. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
all right, perfect.
That's right. Yeah.
Thanks.
I've been internalizing your work for the last 2 to 3 years. You often said that there is a huge difference between knowing something intellectually and knowing it in your bones. I know this is a how-to question, but I'm confused how to go from knowing any concept intellectually to really imbibing it and internalizing it.
What color is your hair?
Black.
So then that isn't intellectual. You know that. So feel what that feels like. And then if somebody asks you how many planets are there in the sky, which you don't know the answer to, And I feel what that feels like. And that'll be the difference in the feeling.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So I've been learning a lot about quantum mechanics since I've been on Clubhouse, and it's answered a question for me that I've always asked about how energy is created, like, like the thing with the electron that creates itself. And I'm a bit of an atheist, but I'm really agnostic, but I think that there's some sort of structure, some invisible structure. So I guess my question is there some sort of invisible structure that is pushing power into our atmosphere that we just haven't figured out yet because we don't have the technology?
I don't know the answer to your question because I don't think the question has any relevance. Because the most acute problem of your life and everyone else's life is the acute problems of your life. Mm-hmm. And the rest is all intellectual. And if you said to that, okay, that's fine.
No, I didn't.
Okay. So whatever the acute problems of your life are, then those are the things that will...
No, I disagree. I can't figure out what I want to do with my life because I'm not for sure about the environment that my life is in. I mean, I know all of these structures that people are telling me I'm supposed to do with my life, but I have this feeling on the inside that is something much more than that. And so I keep concentrating on that instead.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. I mean, your life is much more than everyone tells you it is. But I just don't know where you are with regard to what sort of DNA you have to discover what you really want to do in this life. But all this energy stuff and who pushes it into the atmosphere, I can't help you there.
Well, I think I'm at the point where it's like I feel like I have a bit of a clairvoyance or like an innate knowing to certain things, and I follow them and it works out for me, but I just don't understand why. And most people in my life tell me to stop following it, but I continue to do it. I just wish I had a better way to explain why.
Right. I think the greatest danger in your life is other people. And that goes for everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
With the current advancement of the technologies that we see right now, people are getting more and more segregated. They are living on their own, and I guess people
I guess this is sort of a community thing to bring people together and connection. I see that you don't follow me, so chances are that you don't. You're kind of bringing some societal stuff into here. Is that true? This is getting to be a communal question, how to bring people together and not to be segregated and all that stuff. Where are you going with this?
My question is, if technology is doing that to us, is there any good by advancing this technology, or are we doing more harm to the society?
Well, society can't be harmed any further than it is. Society is devastation.
So
society is devastation in itself. There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than society. And if you're a part of society, then you're part of the problem.
Then what's the solution?
The solution to what?
Solution.
You haven't delineated an issue.
I mean, the issue is we are losing happiness.
The issue is but there is no we. Who's the we? There's no we. There's only you.
Yeah, I guess I become more unhappier if I'm not with other people then.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's not your problem. You don't feel it's a problem, and you don't have to. But so long as one is societal and social, they will always suffer.
Mm-hmm.
And that suffering may come in the form of pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Dr. Gupta.
Hello.
Hi. What is the truth to memories? Because I find myself caught up in memories, whether it be good memories or bad memories, and they haunt me like many times, repeatedly.
It's a great question, and I don't think memories are the only thing that haunt you. I'm not saying just you, every human being. I don't think memory is the only thing that haunts you. The anxieties of the future haunt you too. Everything haunts you. So it really is only to delineate one face of the problem, to say, well, this part of the mind haunts me. Now, every part of the mind haunts you. You're haunted day and night. And only a few moments, maybe every day, maybe once a week, maybe every other day, maybe only on Wednesdays and Saturdays, you have a brief moment of happiness. And then the Dalai Lama comes along and tells you that all human beings, the goal of life is to be happy. And then you try to turn Wednesdays and Saturdays into the rest of the week too, to try to get more happiness. And that's also a haunting. So what must be realized is that everything in your mind is a haunting, not just memories. So even if I were to cure your memory problem, you would still be haunted by anxiety, and you would still be haunted by emotion that wasn't related to memory, and you'd still be haunted by the negative circumstance that you faced today and all that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So right now, those who have their hand raised have already asked a question. I'm going to keep it open for those who haven't asked a question. The serial questioners are the ones who go nowhere.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm going to sort of steer this toward golf. Any tips as far as quieting the mind?
You've already lost me. Tips are like.
Okay.
You couldn't have used a worse word.
Sorry. Change.
Hi there, I'm Shaker. My question is the inner universe, what's in our heads, in our imaginations, in our experiences, the only truth that we will actually ever know?
You're asking what's in your head, is that the only truth?
Correct.
There isn't a single piece of truth in your head.
As in, is the only thing I will truly know is myself and my experiences.
No, you don't know yourself. The only thing that you will know is your conditioning. All the stuff that's been pumped into your head by society is the only thing that you'll ever know, and that isn't worth knowing. So if you're asking, is that your only reality? Yes, that is your only reality. But that isn't truth.
And so how does one seek that beyond what one only knows?
I mean, that's like saying, how does one develop a taste for chocolate? You're not interested. Hello.
Question. Like knowing what the right thing is or knowing what to do isn't the same as doing that thing. In your experience, like what's the biggest obstacle to change?
I mean, there's like 750 things that are untrue with everything that you just said after you said the word question. I don't know where to begin. Are you new here?
Yes.
Okay. So there is no right thing to do. It doesn't exist. The change is a farce. It's all self-help, self-development nonsense. So all the words that you use in the question don't exist. So there's many levels of understanding that will have to take place. They don't have to take place, but they will have to take place if you insist upon the question before you're able to ask a valid one, because those things don't exist. And if they don't exist, there's no question.
Hi, Dr. Gupta. Thank you for taking my question.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Thank you for taking my question. I was just wondering about the 4 stages of life. I come from a Hindu family, and we have been raised kind of with devotion. And I was wondering where do kind of brahmacharya, grihastha, and then ultimately like renouncing everything at a very later stage in life fit in with kind of the idea that society conditions you and destroys you. Because I feel that the first part of the life you're being conditioned.
So I don't know what you mean by where does what fit in with what. What do you really want to ask? Ask a pointed question.
Okay. Okay, let me come back up then in a few minutes. Sorry.
Okay.
Hello, Dr. Gupta.
Hello.
My question is how to live in a moment.
I don't know what to say, honestly. The app should just explode when questions like that come. At least the room should just shut down. Or at least the questioner should just vaporize from the room or something.
Hello, Dr. Gupta.
Hello?
I have a question with money and people. So, is money the only form of mutual trust that can get people together, or does it mean anything to have a relationship?
I have no idea what you're talking about money and relate. What do you mean by money get together? Money get people together. I don't know what you're saying.
I meant like, is money the only form of cooperation? Or is there anything else regarding emotions which can form bonds?
I'm sorry. I don't understand your question.
Hello.
Hello?
Is there anything beyond opinion?
There isn't anything in opinion.
I have one question. Is understanding and arrival and realization are the closer, or feeling is the closest to the truth, or
Well, these are all words. I mean, the words are very limited in their ability to delineate what actually is directly trying to be stated. So, I mean, what one person calls realization, somebody else may call enlightenment, somebody else may call enlightenment, somebody else may call moksha, somebody else may call freedom. So it's these things, it's however you want to look at it. I mean, that's why definitions don't go anywhere.
But every situation has only one truth, correct?
Yes. Yes, every situation has, well, it doesn't even matter if there's only one. The point is, every situation has a truth, and the key, the significance behind that statement is no situation has a right or wrong. None. Okay. There's no right or wrong, but there is a truth.
Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm.